Tonight's episode comes to you live from the end of a burnt-out pier. It features coarse language, songs of a sexual nature, a revolving lineup of band members, an album banned in the UK, a tragic death, repeated use of the word willy, and multiple crimes, both against the law and music in general. Slowly We Rock presents Black Lace, A Journey into Darkness.
Slowly we rock. Slowly we rock.
Hi everybody.
Hey guys.
It's on. It's on.
I have
It's
so
on.
many reservations about what we're gonna do tonight.
We're about to tread on some horrific ground.
I just want to say, when I envisioned this podcast, I didn't want to cut anything out. I thought this is a rock podcast. It's a metal podcast. We're going to talk about music, any band, any album.
Keep an open mind.
Wide sphere of that genre. Bring it on. I didn't think we'd pivot so quickly. I really didn't.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 of Slow We Rock. I think this feels like a passion project for you guys. And
I don't think you can call it that.
No.
This is therapy.
yeah. This is all you've talked about for a week straight. So I think consider me
You bitch.
Consider me just a passenger on this journey, okay? I'm on the boat, but you're Martin Sheen leading me down the river. Okay?
And we're all part Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
In a way.
So, Lewis and Dan, do you want to introduce to me and the audience what the fuck we're covering?
Well, Lewis is patient zero for this because he
Hi.
brought them back into my life.
Hi guys, I'm Lewis from Slowly We Rock.
I'm James. I was part of Slow We Rock, but after tonight's episode, I think I want to pursue other interests.
I'm Dan. There's no refunds. You're in for the ride. Strap in.
Strap
And
on. Strap
did you know-
on.
Strap in, strap
Did
on.
you know that
Grab
if
it.
is the middle word in life?
Be prepared for a lot of that level of humour this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite highbrow for what we're about to go to. Also, just remember, we're talking about the band. Don't tar us with that brush when we discuss their songs and what they've been doing. We're not endorsing them in any way.
So
Lewis is patient zero for this because out of nowhere, I'll be honest with you, the band we're talking about is Black Lace. If you're not sure who they are, then just think back to if you went to any discos
school
as a child.
discos, 90s school discos. These are the men that made your childhood and made every family trip to Spain when you were little, if you were little in the 90s. Select part of the audience, I understand.
Agadoo.
They gave you Agadoo, the Music Man,
Superman.
Do the conga.
Tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black
You know Black Lace. I would say, the kings of the school disco.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think on their Wikipedia page, they're described as the band with the least musical credibility of all time.
Yes. And also on their own Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I guess for those who don't know, Black Lace are a kind of novelty pop band who have been around since, the 70s or 80s?
They're a cheeky postcard of a band, as one page describes it.
Yeah.
So Nams, talk us in. How we stumbled.
Well, I was going to ask you that because the reason I started listening to them again for my sins
blame me
was because Lewis messaged me about them, saying I had to check them out on Spotify. So what were you doing?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Why were you looking
Where was
at
Kizzy?
this? Yeah.
She makes you a better person most of the time.
Yeah.
What was she doing this day to let you?
I don't know.
Does she know about this?
Yeah.
She very much knows about this.
Okay.
So Kizzy's my girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Hi, Kiz. I got a message from her. She was walking home from work the other day, being like, "I can't find Supercock on YouTube." So, which will make sense so soon.
Oh, some sense.
So the three of us used to work together for a second-hand media
Electronics sort of shop.
Everything, yeah, you'd say like maybe computer exchange or
Yeah.
something along those lines.
If you ever walked by a Greggs or a Poundland, you'll probably see our former place of employment within about 2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a dark time for all of us, but good God, did we have a laugh.
Yep.
And we used to, well, we had complete free reign of whatever music that we could put on for the entire store. So there was...
We wanted something that sounded as ugly as we felt inside working there.
It was a form of protest.
We
in a
had
way.
one of our friends, Matt, who's now a wrestler, known as Elijah. If you're into it, check him out. He made a edit of Shania Twain's "That Don't Impress Me Much," where he replaced so many things with our name.
The bit where she says, "Okay, so you're Brad Pitt," had our names, and then it also had Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I would say the easiest way to sum up a lot of the music we listened to was that it was almost like we were trying to drive customers out of the store.
Yeah. We had the fresh, a friend of ours, Sam, put on the fresh... Oh, was it you? Was it you?
I made it.
Dan, yeah.
Oh! So Nelm's put on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air soundtrack where the intro went on for a solid 6 minutes.
I edited the intro so it went on for about 3 times longer than it should. So you would watch customers get ready to sort of rap along in their heads, and it would never drop. I think even the staff, you could see the veins throbbing as they just wanted that release. And then I also made the outro for 3.5 minutes long as well.
And it went on so long that everyone lost track. No one knew when it would kick in. And just seeing that torture was incredible.
Yeah.
So, throughout all of this, and yes, there's a lot of backstory to how this happened.
Yeah,
there needs to be.
I want to know how you basically... You said you were clean for years, and I want to know why I found you with a needle in your arm.
Black Lace.
Thinking of your own shit and piss.
So what we should say from what Lewis was just talking about is Black Lace, we found out, had a song called Gangbang, which is literally about having a gangbang. Look at the lyrics. We're having a gangbang, we're having a ball is the first line of that song.
I implore you, if you're listening to this, please check out the songs that we say, because it will sound like we're making this up.
The gangbang song sounds like it was written and recorded with a circus. It's got that sort of big top feel to it, but it's about group sex and the pleasures one can get from that. But again, sounds like it was recorded by instruments in a circus.
The weird thing about this was, because I knew from their songs that Black Lace, to me, they were like a children's entertainment band, like a novelty pop band, like Weekend at Butlin's kind of thing.
Yeah, straight away.
And
more like Weekend at Bernie's.
But even then, it never really clicked that there might be more going on when I heard them singing Gangbang.
I know, none of us questioned it.
I thought it was one of those innocent 1970s, early 80s, like, you know, tongue-in-cheek, are you being served kind of humour sort of thing. It never occurred to me that actually they would put out an album.
Cool. So,
what we listened to recently.
So, we used to play it all the time, and the other day, I just had this little melody in my head from nowhere that was just... I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what is this? It turns out Jesus was not the answer to that question.
Jesus can't help you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Even he won't forgive this.
That would be Superman by Black Lace. So I checked it out, and then remembered that we used to play Gangbang all the time to a lot of customers. And then that led me to a little discovery. So okay. All right, keep it together, man. So,
this is your big moment.
Okay, this is it. I've been waiting for this. So, in 1997, the greatest hits were released, and it's got everything you'd expect on there. Agadoo, Birdie Dance, Superman, Do the Conga. They covered Time Warp. They covered Saturday Night.
This is a perfect disco to me.
They did Bullshit, Gangbang, I Am the Music Man. So, Bullshit caught my eye.
They just slip those in there.
Bullshit. No idea how that song is there. Which then led me to a 1987 album called The Blue Album.
Let's talk about the song Bullshit, though. While we're on it.
Let's go there first.
Yeah, because I mean, I have so many questions, both for you and just both of you, and also just like general hypothetical questions that I'm posing to.
A lot of questions will probably be why, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is how many bands do you know go back and re-record their own hits and then
Wow.
change all?
Well, did they re-record? Which one did they re-record,
This is
Jim?
what, this is the thing, because I think that, so basically the Blue Album, it's all of their songs plus a few covers, and then they've changed all the lyrics to make them like
Sexy.
sexy.
Raunchy.
What's wrong with being sexist?
Wow.
I like being sexy.
Um,
It wasn't a glove, believe me.
it's like they've pivoted and they've said, we don't want to make music for children's parties. We want to make it for people in the bushes watching children's parties.
Oh, you have no idea.
That's the best description I've ever heard of this. And I've only heard 3 descriptions
And-
from you two ever.
And that comment you've made will make a lot more sense to you when you find out a bit more about some of the band members as we go along.
Okay.
His tree, you tree, we'll find out, I guess.
Wow. So basically, what is the Blue Album?
Well, sorry, just very quickly. The song "Bullshit" to start with.
Okay. Is that on the Blue Album?
So I look. No, it's not. It's. But
Have you listened to Bullshit?
No.
So I looked it up because Lewis pointed out quite rightly. He went, "This sounds a lot like." Do you know Cotton Eye Joe by the Rednecks?
How could I not? Yeah. Classic.
So I looked this up, and it turns out that I don't know quite how this happened. I couldn't get the reasoning for it, unless it's a traditional song. This was released at the same time as a competing track with Cotton Eye Joe by the Rednecks, and the Rednecks beat them in this chart battle for number 1. They both released this song, but one of them called it "Bullshit" and the other didn't.
You think they were just offended they didn't come up with such a bad novelty song first?
Yeah, well, they released it at the same time though.
God, that's
That's insane. I
Yeah.
did not know that. That is
Yeah,
absolutely
because it says that
mental.
Rednecks beat them in the charts. So
So this is the thing. Every single thing we found out about this just
call
got
it-
weirder
Yeah.
and weirder. And
and this led us to the Blue Album,
Is
which we
this-
hinted at.
Is this kind of like a serial or making a murderer kind of thing?
But I wanted to know more.
You find out about, you read something in the paper and it catches your eye, and then you go deep down the rabbit hole and
then it struck me as I saw the title, Bullshit, hidden amongst children's classics. I knew there was something deeper. I knew there was something wrong, but so right.
I
I mean, every answer throws up 3 or 4 more
That was a weird
questions.
sample that I found.
No, that was good. That was a
so
British Ivor Glass.
So
That
okay,
sounded good.
so just to get the kind of timeline of this straight. Okay, so it's like we're all brought together.
Sound like you're doing the JFK
Yeah.
assassination.
So at some point in our childhood, at a school disco, a children's party,
Yeah.
Top of the Pops 2,
Going anywhere in the Canary Islands in the 90s.
exactly. Any trip to Butlins, anything like that.
I never went abroad, so it was just Siddington Village Hall for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard
Or
the
school
music.
assembly hall.
But
Yeah.
we all heard like a Black Lace pop song, and it became like a earworm that we would dance to, and then you'd never want to listen to it again.
Pia,
as
Pia, P&O.
As soon as puberty hit, you would do anything you could to get away from that kind of music. Then somehow
And
it
the
came
band
back,
members.
Then somehow it came back into our life. When we were all working together, and we decided that instead of making money for the store and the company we worked for, we would do everything we can to drive
sabotage
customers out
it.
the building. Okay. Then, for one reason or another, you got Superman stuck in your head, which is fair enough. Like, that's the whole song. You know, that's what it does. It burrows
Yeah.
into your ear and starts eating away at your brain.
It happens, I'd say, every 3 months I hear Superman in my head. But it's fine. It's fine. I've just got fun memories of
Yeah.
it. It's just a fun
Yeah. So then, what made you decide to listen to more of their music?
I think, sometimes you get an earworm and you feel like you need to listen to the original song
Absolutely.
in order to find that out. For some reason, I felt like that.
Was it the word "bullshit" that caught your eye, I'm guessing?
It was. And I think I sent you screenshots of the running list of the greatest hits, being like,
Yeah.
So, these songs, there's this weird outlier here. Bullshit.
That's what intrigued me and to deep dive into this as well.
And we, honestly, so this...
I took Lewis's hand and we both jumped in.
We really did. And me and Nams, for definite, have just we haven't.
It's changed me.
Yeah, I don't think I've really thought about anything else for like a week now.
No.
Yeah, you guys have been talking about it.
I took a day off
non-stop.
at the weekend.
Like, when I see you guys, and before I even said anything,
I don't enjoy it anymore.
There's just like a look in your eye, like a glint, or I can see you mouthing the lyrics, or there's a slight smirk. I can just tell. It's like a form of like tranquility just washed over you. You just feel at peace with yourself.
We found Nirvana.
Yeah. So I have like loads of questions though about the actual album, the Blue Album, because I'm looking through like their selected discography here.
So it's worth mentioning at this point as well that the Blue Album contains a subheading, which is bracketed, that says "Banned in the UK," and then the cover of the album says the Blue Album with possibly the same size font, just saying "Banned."
It's worth noting at this point, it was banned by their own record label.
Basically, so I'm trying to work this out. Basically, it's an album of their own hits and covers, which they have re-recorded, but they've changed all the lyrics to be kind of filthy in...
a bit dirty.
But like filthy in the way that like a 12-year-old would find filthy.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of it's singing about things that you would do with his willy.
I think
They've been clever with it though, because
maybe it's like the next school disco. You know where you're too old to dance.
Teacher's Lounge.
You're wearing your flame shirt.
Yeah.
You went dancing. You're stood at the side by the benches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too cool to dance.
Two guys trying to break dance.
Absolutely. These glasses, they're yellow. They make everything look like I'm under piss.
What's that in my hand? It's a pixie stick.
How many have I had? Don't you want to know,
So,
babe?
just to give an idea of how clever they were, though, because they didn't just want to, put the word cock in there and release it. For instance, the song Do the Conga, which I'm sure everyone knows, which is do, 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 come on and do the conga. They very cleverly, they skewered society with this. They called it Do the Condom. And if you think about it, the word do, which is a euphemism for sexual intercourse, but what they did was, they went, no, we're not going to use the same word again. The word do rhymes with the word screw. So the opening to that one is screw, 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 come on and do the condom. Which doesn't make any sense.
Could you just talk me through the track listing, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So this one, like every single one of their albums apparently, starts with the track Agadoo, do, push pineapple, shake a tree.
Classic.
And it's just called Agadoo.
Cool. Okay. So they've just basically stuck their most popular song on another album again, yeah?
Well, Jim, you would think.
But I think they wanted to run the risk of some kids' parties accidentally playing a rude version of Agadoo. So they've done a rude version but not renamed it.
Okay.
And it's absolutely genius. Because I couldn't think of anything funnier than if I had kids.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just you.
Yeah.
If I had kids and they had a party, accidentally playing their horrible...
It would be like the bit in Jaws when Brody spots the shark in the
I
water.
feel, though, at the time of recording, this wouldn't necessarily have been a risk because it would have been a CD. You'd have to have gone out and proactively purchased that album. Whereas it's almost like they were thinking ahead and were planning for the digital age, like the Spotify era.
When millennials throw parties for their kids.
Yeah. Because I tried to listen to this album today and I made it less than 5 songs in and I had to turn it off. It was so annoying.
I like the fact they have to make it clear that a song called I'm a Wanker, spoiler alert, is explicit.
Yeah. The most annoying thing was it was all of the already annoying elements of their music.
Yes.
But with lyrics written by like a 14-year-old or something like that, that thought it was way funnier than it actually was. What I did like was the sincerity in which he sung every lyric as well, though. Like, he does actually... You can't hear him kind of like laughing in the background. He's singing it like he would sing any other song he's done.
Yeah. So, bit of context about. I assume everyone's wondering how Black Lace got big.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did they find that sound? How did they find that dance?
In a dumpster?
Wrong.
Oh.
Almost in a bar in Spain. In a 100%
Well, a lot of their songs are foreign. Like Agadoo is a foreign song, which they then covered in the UK, isn't it?
So, the Superman was actually the first kind of big hit.
Okay.
So that one basically they were trying to find the new sounds. This is two blokes from your. In fact, no, right. I can't. No. So this needs to be explained. At first, it was 4 men, okay? And this, Jesus Christ, they were formed in 1973,
Wow.
right?
A long time ago.
It was 4 guys, Steve Scoley, Terry Dalton, Colin Ruth, and all 3 of them were born on September 8th, 1953. What? Now, I've seen The Omen so many times.
Yeah.
There has to be something there.
7 deadly sins, 7 ways to win.
I mean, he's genuinely fucked up.
Yeah, and then Alan Barton, the 3rd one, was
God.
born 8 days later. None
Yeah.
of them related. All right,
Somebody
cool.
get the daggers and McGee.
That must have been like some weird day where there was like both
An
a like,
eclipse.
solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse.
Yeah, 100.
12 hours later.
The stars were aligned.
Yeah.
So many birds just died. It was like signs. So yeah, they struggled on the pub and Northern Club circuit up in Yorkshire.
They struggled.
It's surprising, I know. Then they
Pioneers.
were chosen.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. And what is that now?
they represented UK in Eurovision.
Yep, 1979.
But basically the British ABBA, when you think about it.
It all makes, yeah, not Bucks Fizz, but
No, they'd be like Fox Biz or something.
Sorry,
Yeah.
ABBA. Sorry, ABBA. Even as a joke, that's an awful thing to say.
So they,
sorry,
yeah.
Ben and Bjorn.
Yeah, they listen.
So they finished 7th. And then they were trying to kind of find their sounds. They went into some discos in Spain.
Looked in the toilets.
Yeah, they got a little fishing net that you get down by the beach. And they went around every single cubicle, just chugging turds. And
cake.
they found a song called Gioca Gir, which was kind of audience participation song. A Spanish band would play it.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone come and dance. They would do moves. Everyone would get involved.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
Like a holiday
So,
camp sort of song.
Yeah, when it was translated into English, it was called Superman. So cleverly, they
Okay.
stole the fuck out of it.
Nice. I quite like.
But they
how-
didn't just straight cover then, they just ripped it off.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah, all of their songs. Agadoo's not a cover; it's a rip-off.
Oh.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's-
so does that mean that bullshit is a rip-off of Cotton Eye Joe?
Some might say.
I quite like how, you know, like you get like a lot of like classic like blues artists or singers that's like, hey, go to New Orleans. The record label says New Orleans. Go find that sound.
Yeah.
Get your ass to Memphis and go spend some
There's
time
a
with
lot
some
happening in
songwriters.
Texas right now.
Yeah, precisely. There's so much going on in Austin, Texas at the moment. Like, get your ass down there, soak up the city, soak up the culture, come back with a fresh sound new album. I like this. Just going package holiday to Spain, sort of. Yeah. done.
Look, we got a Thompsons up here. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how they came about.
So how did it go from representing Eurovision to, I guess, 80s novelty pop?
So funny you should ask. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
the
either.
Wikipedia page isn't very clear.
No. So they did.
The archives are incomplete.
Yeah.
Only the Library of
That's-
Alexandria hadn't burnt down.
But that's impossible. The archives must be complete. The only person that could remove that must be in
This
blank
is
Black
plates.
Blades. Yeah.
This makes me feel like we willed them into existence.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of funny stuff about them, but we don't know how they got here.
No.
Or
But
where the bodies are buried.
It's like comic book writer Grant Morrison believes that he must have willed his wife into existence.
Yeah,
because
she's so-
he couldn't get over how perfect a woman she was. And in the same way, we've willed Black Lace into
Mind you,
existence.
Grant Morrison might have willed Black Lace into existence.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
So
oh my god, I've just heard an incredible thing.
okay.
Cool. So a more serious song was included on one of them. It's a version of "You'll Never Walk Alone," a song that 2 members of Black Lace would take to number 1 in 1985 for a fundraiser after a fire at the Bradford City Football Stadium.
Okay.
As members of part of the crowd of the charity ensemble.
And they include that on their own Wikipedia page. Oh, that is desperate, isn't it?
So is that like they heard that someone was they were gonna be at the studio at 4:00 on a Thursday, and maybe they like snuck in the night before and camped out in the studio under a desk.
Guys, the Janos.
Yeah. And then as they were recording, they crawled out from the desk. So, all right, lads, how's it going? Yeah. I can never walk alone. Never, never walk alone.
Oh God, can you imagine?
Oh wow. So
Sweet
Yeah,
silver song
now-
of a lark.
Because one of the big questions, I think
there's so many things. Please ask.
Okay,
Please
'cause
go.
what I want to know is how they. I get that they've recorded all of this like novelty toilet pop music.
Kids fun.
Yeah.
And I think
It's fine.
perfect purpose.
I enjoyed it at
Absolutely
discos as a
perfect.
child.
And also, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather seeing kids now. Oh God, I'm going to sound so unbelievably odd, but seeing kids like twerking and doing all this shit at discos and that now. I watch big fat gypsy weddings. I don't know. I don't know if that's everything.
That's a accurate
I'd
representation of society.
I would much rather now kids go back and just have like the Music Man. Then I listen to the Blue
No,
album.
but
and
things
I
are
don't want
sexually
the-
charged. So the Macarena is.
Yeah, so
You can't. We had that. You know, that was
Yeah.
just.
So here's why I disagree with that, because these guys are coming from an era where Jimmy Savile was like top of the mountain. So
Yeah.
thing is though, like,
Didn't find any connections to Savile,
but
No.
other than
No, which
something
I was surprised about. I was 100%
other than something in
expecting.
common.
But yeah, but so what? Because the thing that like, for example, these guys were to the 1980s maybe what say Steps were to the late 90s, right? Just
I'd say that's actually
like,
perfect.
just they pump out shitty, catchy, awful singles.
Or if the cartoons have become a popular band.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
that's that,
yeah, that's the cartoons.
What I don't
Aqua.
understand is why they then decided to record an album which would never ever possibly they'd be able to reach to their target audience.
Capture new audience, capture the adults.
Yeah, like
If you build it, they will. Oh,
No, don't say it. But
Alright.
I mean, we're adults.
the Blue
We know how much we enjoy the word Willie in a song.
yeah, because the Blue album is basically all of their big hits and a couple more re-recorded with
Yeah.
filthy lyrics.
And one of those couple more is
And-
the Neighbours theme.
Because what? Yeah.
Yeah, so that for me was the most confusing thing, because as if this album isn't weird and bad enough already. Track
Toilet
2
yeah.
is the Australian soap Neighbours theme tune. However, there's a clever twist in that it's everybody fucks their neighbour or something
They
like
say
that.
screw, don't they? I think they say screw.
Yeah.
I think probably.
Or hump. They,
I
wouldn't,
feel
they,
like-
they don't really
yeah.
use the word fuck.
No, they don't.
I actually
Toilet
remember as a
music.
kid when we did like music classes at primary school, as we were getting a little bit too old for primary school, we would deliberately sing the words to songs wrong and add swear words and like
Yes.
stuff like that in. And my excuse was that I was 9 years old.
Yes, no, these were grown men.
Yeah. But
These were
I don't,
sadists.
I don't think I've ever known any band, any artist to like. It does have like people go back and like this is a big like we'll somehow tie this into our actual podcast. Lots of rock bands has been around for a while. When things are maybe a little bit
Re-release.
will re-release or go back and re-record albums. Like sometimes they sounded a bit shitty originally because they didn't have the money
Yeah.
for production.
FM, amazing rock band from the 80s.
Yeah.
Re-recorded their first album like last year before.
Yeah.
30 years on. Sounds incredible. They did
Yeah.
everything that they wanted it to sound like back then.
But it wasn't for the
Yeah.
lack of the word Willie.
It was
And yeah,
not.
like Exodus went and re-recorded Bonded
Yeah.
by Blood. And
Brett Michaels re-records Every Rose Has a Thorn
yeah,
every month.
year, right without fail.
On demand.
Yeah, it it happens. I totally get it. The thing is though, they're just doing those classic songs with modern production.
Yes.
With this, they've gone in and changed every lyric.
To the word screw. Or Willie.
I've never known a band to actually just 180 on their own audience.
Yes.
Not just like that, but also by like kind of tainting their own material. Like you get lots of bands where, you know, after like the third or fourth album, they're like, oh, they really matured, they came into their own. These guys have progressed. They've actually done the exact opposite of every band
And also,
in the world.
all of the music in them. This is one of the weirdest things as well. They've re-recorded all the music because if you listen to
Superman.
Okay, so Superman
Sorry.
is...
Supercock. Sorry. Sorry.
There is no better word for a penis. There's no better word for your beepus that rhymes with man than cock.
Yeah, right. They're interchangeable. Absolutely.
So they did Supercock, and all the music is like re-recorded on the most budget. I don't know why they didn't just use all the stems from the original songs, right? And at least make it sound like they did originally. I don't want to use the word good.
I'd like to think after they recorded the original and like put out the single, they got all the masters and they torched them, and they went, "This magic can never be recreated."
Well, okay, so I want to share something with you guys.
Cool.
And I really want to play a little bit of Supercock
Get
right
it
now.
on. Make it happen.
Just quickly as well,
Yeah.
they're the only band I've not really paid much attention to this on other Wikipedia pages, but on their one it says, after turning professional at the beginning of 1976, but the word professional is in quotation marks. I don't know if I've noticed that on other Wikipedia pages.
No, I don't think I have.
And I get
strangely.
it. I totally get it.
And I've never thought that's more fitting.
Absolutely.
So,
Toilet music.
man. So, I need... Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm pretty
Yeah,
certain
we all
of it.
do.
Yeah, we all need this.
We all need Jesus Christ.
I just want you guys
Supercock, go
to
for it.
hear
Come on.
Supercock.
Because I didn't get to the slurping noises or whatever it was.
Oh, did you not? Okay, I
Well, I
specifically...
don't know.
Pretty early on.
There's a lot of slurping noises in this.
Okay.
Honestly, this band is fascinating. And I use the word band in the loosest sense of the term.
I think what's fascinating is that they've got this album.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I've been trying to work out.
About this album, they're not that interesting.
I was trying to work out when this was recorded as well, because
87.
because it was only
Same year as Whitesnake's 1987.
Among the Living as well.
Are we recording at the moment?
Yeah.
Good, because without this album, they're not that interesting. But this makes me recontextualise everything they've done.
Yeah, it's almost like a confession.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah,
Here's what we've really been singing
because it only got released in like 2010. So again,
Really?
yeah. So
They were sat on
So
this.
who was the person that like?
Do you mean re-released?
re-released? But
In
who was the
2010?
person that like 23 years later? was like-
23 years later, this was released.
Yeah, decided they
They
had
were
to put this
waiting.
record out. Yeah.
Oh
Who was sitting
my
on this?
God.
Maybe when it came out, it wasn't actually banned. It was kind of like that Wu-Tang Clan album.
Oh yes, the year of our birth.
Yeah.
But the Blue Album was recorded.
Oh, you 87? I was going to ask if you were 87.
Yeah, 87.
Yeah, that's how we ended up being
I feel
30.
it.
So, this, just listen to this. Just listen.
Give us a flash. On your back, you bitch.
Did he just say on your back, you bitch?
I think he did.
Fuck me.
Come on, we're going for a dive. Hey, fine, give us a clue. Show us your boots.
Are they drunk? This feels like it's one they would record as a dummy version and never release
this
it.
is for. Listen to this. Listen to what you're listening to.
How do you mime a gangbang?
Bonk.
This is so much cheaper sounding. This feels like an outtake that they weren't ever going to release. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry if you're listening to this. Also, this is Black Lace, not us.
It's
I think this episode is going to get banned for 30 years.
Yeah.
it's just.
Into
I'm
the
just
no, people have to know.
I'm just fascinated because everything about that is bad. Like, but I pose this to you.
What if
That-
it's good?
That could not be made better, and it could not be made worse.
Yeah, it's
You could
like,
do the production
it's-
better.
Which means it's untouchable, but it wouldn't be the same.
It's
No.
the apex predator of flaming shits.
100%.
It's a flaming shit encased in fossilised amber.
So there's also
With the John Hammond.
With the John Hammond.
The dinosaur, yeah.
so there's also on this album there's a track called The Hokey Pokey, which I'm fascinated by, because obviously in the UK we call it the Hokey Cokey, which you put your right arm in, your right arm out, you know, the Hokey Cokey.
Shake all
They
about.
should hire
Now-
us for children's parties.
All right. And
Do it, Koki.
Seriously, we need the cash.
Turn around.
This is an appeal.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
So this is called the Hokey Pokey. Now the pokey is... yeah, you get it. You get it. In America, they call it the Hokey Pokey.
Oh, God.
Think of the ramifications.
So many poor children might accidentally hear the...
Yeah.
Oh.
And the actions to this are genuinely, you put your left boob in, your left boob out, which are pretty similar to putting your right arm, your left arm in.
Is it a female-only song?
Well, no, because
They must say about your penis. Oh, willy, I expect.
you put your willy in. Yeah.
All of these
Annoy
lyrics
cards and
sound
scam.
like they're written by someone who's never actually had sex.
I completely think that might be real.
I mean, have you looked at them?
So
Yeah.
I think it's got one thing that got me thinking. Like, I like what they call it the Blue Album. So they kind of put it out there, like, "Hey, this is smutty stuff, okay? Like, we've warned you in
But
advance."
it's not. But it's not even smutty. It's
They
just
look
shit.
like-
It's just. This is the biggest pile of garbage I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Go on their Spotify page and look at the band members now. They look like failed clones of Timmy Mallet.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you should mention clones because one of them. So this original 4-piece where 3 of them were born on the same day, same year, everything.
Yeah.
2 of them left immediately, which left 2 because 4 minus 2 is 2, and that's a fact.
That's why people come to this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
It works out. It pans
yeah.
out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
It's a game changer.
Jesus Christ. Right. This is where it gets really weird.
This is for Secret Singer.
So, one of them, there was an accident, which we'll get into in a moment, and the other guy that was left, Colin Ruth was left, and Barton was no longer with us. But luckily,
It's in the 90s.
this is in the 90s, yeah. There was a lookalike and sound-alike of one half of Black Lace who he hired and then carried on as if nothing happened. so one of the guys that is now in Black Lace, or since the 90s, is a stand-in of another guy who he looks and sounds...
I think
That's weird.
I was trying
shit.
to work out who died and I couldn't because of the look and sound alike
so
in the pictures.
My favourite thing is that he attributes this guy to being so pivotal to Black Lace's sound that he literally couldn't carry on without him, and so he had to find like an identikit version of him to carry on.
Well, the guy who
It's
died,
like Kiss and like just getting everyone else in like Ace Frehley and Peter Chris's makeup. Like, oh, you know.
the guy who
doing
died
those.
looks like a blonde version of Clinton Baptiste from Phoenix Nights. You know, the psychic.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If they are like a joke band in Phoenix Nights,
Yeah.
but in real life.
Absolutely. I was kind of thinking about the Blue Album as well, and I was imagining how great it would be if Weezer re-recorded their own Blue Album, but like made all of the lyrics really smutty.
Well, have you
And
not
then
heard Surf Wank America?
Yeah. I was
So
trying to
good.
think, okay, what would you rather listen to? Okay, would you rather listen to Weezer re-record the Blue Album with smutty lyrics?
Yes, because they're good.
Or would you like to hear Black Lace cover Weezer's Blue Album song for song?
Ooh.
Or, better yet, Weezer cover Black Lace's Blue Album.
That one.
Black Lace. Oh, sorry, Weezer covering Black Lace because Black Lace's covers now on their later albums. I listened to a couple. They're very pedestrian and
And
not edgy.
Straight laced.
mental.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, gee, there's so much in this. So, Tarzan Boy from
I
the
love
80s.
that song.
classic
Great song.
Baltimore song. Love it.
Great song.
Yeah.
I would say very much of the 80s, of its time.
Oh, it's incredibly 80s. The
There's-
video, the song, the production.
But there's that
I
point that
disagree.
belongs
It's
to.
timeless. It resonates.
I love that song.
Yeah, we're here
But
long
that-
after we are.
That belongs there. And I think if you went to like anyone in 2015, hey, do you know Baltimore's Tarzan Boy? A lot of people are like, no. Oh, do you
right.
know Madonna? Yes.
Yeah.
So they released their own cover of Tarzan Boy in 2015 on the album Party Crazy.
That's their 7th album with the word party in it.
Is actually,
Yeah, I looked it up.
and
Back to what they know.
it's obviously not as good as the original.
Yeah.
It's It's not like that. But the only discernible difference that is added quite a lot more animal noises.
For kids' parties.
And it just so happens that all of those animals were fucking at the time.
But also, I don't know what parties they're going to, because they also do a cover, I think on that album, of I Just Called to Say I Love You.
By Stevie Wonder.
Now, a cover is just as good as the original.
This is absurd talk by now.
The original's a garbage song.
No.
I think compared
Absolute
to
garbage
the
song.
majority of Stevie Wonder's discography,
It's not. It's nowhere near as good as the rest of his stuff. But come on, Black Lace, do not sing that as well as Stevie Wonder.
Play it.
It sounds like a karaoke version.
Yeah, it does. It's passable.
It's
yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
He's got a good voice.
I agree. I actually do agree with that.
He was on The Voice as well, so that might be
Was he
why.
actually?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's actually yeah. If I was as blind as Stevie Wonder, and I would.
Do you say if I was blind as Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, if I was as blind as Stevie Wonder and I heard that person singing,
Shit.
I wouldn't probably think that might be Stevie Wonder on an off day.
Right.
It's not exactly what they've covered Living for the City, is it?
No.
So.
Talk to me about them
Boys
being on The Voice.
Born. Huh?
Who was on The Voice?
Dean Michael. That's the name of the guy, the singer.
In Black Lace.
His name is Dean Michael.
Who?
The singer for Black Lace.
None of them are called Dean Michael.
He was D-E-N-E.
No.
Was it Denny?
What?
He's
What are you talking about? He's the one
Denny
who...
Michael. Yeah, he's listed as a past member.
No, there's Colin Ruth and Alan Barton are the main boys.
Alan Barton's the one who passed away.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Dean Michael sings for them now. I'm an expert, apparently.
Hang on,
okay.
whoa. Roy Hopcraft was the stand-in boy.
I'm on their Wikipedia
Dean Michael
page
is the
now.
one who committed one of our favourite crimes that we like to discuss on this podcast.
Yeah, they've gone through a lot of members. So
Is it ape crime?
No, it's almost as good.
It's
It's
like-
the crime of benefit fraud. Now, this benefit fraud...
What? And then he was on The Voice.
Well, he was on The Voice, but even better, while he was committing the benefit fraud, here's how he got caught. So, obviously...
Please be Paul Diano related.
So, it's one of the most insane ways to get caught doing benefit fraud. I'm sure everyone knows benefit fraud is when you claim you've got a bad back or you can't work and you get money from the government, because most people, if they have it, they can't work, so
Yeah.
it's fair enough. And then you always get these like things where you see it on the local news where someone gets caught for benefit fraud because they were in a wrestling match when they said they had a bad back and stuff. This guy took it to the next level. On 27th of June 2016, Dean Michael was jailed for 6 months for benefit fraud. While performing with Old Lace, performing solo shows and filming the Walker's Crisp advert. He was also working during the day as a van driver. He had been claiming disability benefit and had received £25,000 over a 2-year period. After serving the sentence, the ex-Black Lace singer now works part-time as a solo singer and part-time DJ to pay back his fraudulent claims.
This is in...
Benefit fraud, one of the best crimes, I would say. But we love to talk about here.
I didn't even know this name
Also,
existed.
while we're on random facts,
Yep.
Black Lace's 1983 Superman single was their first on their own label, Flair label. And a promotional video was shot at Casanova's nightclub in Wakefield. One of the hired dancers was the then unknown singer, Jane McDonald.
You're joking.
From the old cruise ship.
everyone's got
Jobbers.
Oh my god.
And Loose Women, actually.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, it's already come
And
up.
again, she has much more talented than Black Lace.
I would
Can't
agree.
stress that enough.
Another thing as well, going back to I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Yeah, sorry.
It's interesting that immediately on that album, it's followed by a cover of Nelly the Elephant.
Classic.
What would you rather hear Black Lace cover? Metallica's Black Album or Jay-Z's Black Album?
I feel like if they did Jay-Z's Black Album, they would say a lot of the words that he says that they shouldn't say. I don't think they'd have a problem with saying them, and that worries me.
I think they would want to pay homage to the original and want to do it justice. And so I think they would drop every N-bomb they could. I think knowing their track record for covers, they might actually drop more offensive language in there, just to give it their own spin, actually.
It's
You
absurd.
guys.
Can I?
There is another crime we haven't discussed
I
yet.
just
as well.
there's a couple of things I want to ask you guys about.
Yeah, please do.
In this
Please do.
weird obsession. There's one, you keep mentioning crimes. You also mentioned in the intro a death.
Okay.
So this is the original singer.
Okay.
We're showing pictures now.
Oh, this is actually really interesting. So he joined a British
this
band
is-
called
this is
Smokey.
fascinating.
Yeah, this is really interesting, and it ties back into school discos.
And trips to Spain.
He joined a sort of a much more legitimate rock band called Smokey.
And it says
Very-
on their own bio on Black Lace, a far more credible band.
Yep. So he juggled both bands for a while, and then focused on Smokey. And then, quite sadly, there was a coach accident in Cologne, and he died in a coach accident. But the interesting thing about him joining Smokey is that, I don't know if you heard, I think one of our biggest hits was called "Living Next Door to Alice."
Okay.
And for 24 years, I've been living next door to
Yeah.
Alice.
Now, who did a comedy version of that with Roy Chubby Brown
Oh my
after
god.
Alan Barton joined?
Black Lace.
Well, no, the singer of
same
Black
band?
Lace, after he joined the band, Smokey, they then released that version of a song.
Oh,
They re-released
okay.
it with Roy Chubby Brown involved.
So he
Right.
he went to
He went to a more credible rock band and brought a bit of Black Lace with him. Thought,
which means that
how
this
can we make this much worse than
Are you saying the members of Black Lace are effectively a cancer?
they are musical poison.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
You think songs are
And
described as infectious,
And I-
these are described as infected.
I and then that is how the look-alike sound-alike came into the band, because the other one exploded.
Ooh,
Right.
harsh.
Now the survivor, Colin Ruth, was then into serious trouble for having an affair with an underage girl,
Oh boy.
which I don't think comes as a surprise. I don't ever want to tar anyone with any kind of brush or anything like that.
He's still
But
in
if-
the band.
He's still in Black Lace.
He changed his surname to Gibb, and he's still in the band.
He did a really cool, honourable thing by, instead of admitting to his crimes and doing any kind of punishment, just changed his name and carried on.
Yeah.
What a sack of shit.
They kind of look like the sort of band that would be
Paedophiles.
caught up in Operation U Tree.
They look like
Yeah.
their own. They also look like their own tribute band, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them in the band is.
I mean, maybe it's just
yeah.
because I'm used to anyone who was ever on Top of the Pops 2 to be investigated by Operation U Tree.
No, not Top of Pops. Top of Pops 2's got it's just for classic performances on Top of Pops.
Yeah.
Top of Pops 2's wicked. That's how I found out about the.
In all fairness, I have definitely seen Gary Glitter on Top of the Pops.
Well, yeah, but that's just Law of
That's all the
Averages,
time.
isn't it? Of
Yeah.
showing
Yeah,
enough.
of course.
But that's how I found out about Nirvana's performance of Top of Pops, where they had to mime it except the vocals.
Oh,
so he's
yeah.
doing the Morrissey impression.
Yeah, I remember seeing that as well. But okay, so maybe I'll rephrase that. But anyone who's, let's say, involved in light entertainment in the
Yeah, okay.
in a lot of children's entertainment in the 70s and 80s, I would expect to be involved. I'm surprised these guys managed to go with it. It feels like they've been up to no good anyway.
I think they
Yeah.
were just openly, for the most part, they're just being cheeky, aren't they? They're
cheeky chappies.
Just horrible.
Cheeky chappies, big cheeky chappies.
Just disgusting lyrics, but like.
Now I must describe when we've been. Oh, seriously, I cannot. It feels so good.
We tried to contain ourselves about talking about this before the
It
podcast.
feels so good to speak about this, you bitch. But and to get it all off our chest. It's like therapy. So, as you've been speaking about this, Nelm's described their work and their music in one perfect word, and that word was rotten.
Yeah, disgusting.
Is disgusting?
It's just
wrong.
disgusting music.
Okay, Jim, I would like you as if we're kind of experts on this horrible thing that
Yeah.
we've just discovered. I would like you to tell me who is the Blue Album for.
This is why we're here having this conversation recording this podcast. I think if Black Lace had never recorded that album, we wouldn't think twice about it. What's so fascinating to me about it is, in what is a very obvious linear career path of novelty pop songs and covers which you can probably play at events on TV for less than the original, and that's probably how they make a lot of their money. The only time I can ever think that this would get played would be at one, or they were thinking about recording it, school reunions.
Okay, yeah.
So they thought it'd be funny if everyone who met up 20 years later, they'd put on the school disco classics, but they're a little bit filthy.
Very excellent point, actually.
That's an incredible point.
Or
Yep.
again,
That's such a really good point.
they have a really warped view of what
Life.
actual orgy is. And so to them, they've made like sex music. So when they hear the Blue album, that's in their head. That's what it sounds like.
That's
to hear,
your Barry
like,
White.
Barry White. Yeah, precisely.
I think it's like...
or Prince or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
describe it as like council estate key party.
Which is their record label.
I keep trying to like get your fuck onto this.
No, basically screw.
This is
So
screw.
screw,
And that's
yeah.
this again. This is the one of the things that makes it weirder. Is that it's child friendly.
It's a child's idea
Yeah.
of being rude.
So
Except
again-
for the word bitch. Get on about your bitch. That seems weirdly aggressive compared to the rest.
I know.
But
there.
to a kid here,
Touch your willy.
So here's my third potential use for this album, and that is simply
Landfill.
to groom. Just to basically to groom. I think it's maybe used to like groom children. I reckon on their other albums, like every 5th copy that gets sold, they've secretly put in a copy of like the Blue album, and maybe if you played it backwards, it would have some real suggestive like vocals on there.
I've just thought of a fourth reason.
Go on.
So there's a lot of really interesting sort of futurology stuff about how, not just like in 100 years' time, but like say in a couple of thousand years' time, how you would warn those future generations about the dangers necessarily of say nuclear waste, and like say a nuclear waste dump.
Okay.
If say they no longer speak English or
Yeah.
or can read the signs or whatever, like way down the line.
That's it. That's immediately very interesting.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to look into.
Cool.
It's sort of speculation, I guess, or like, because anything can happen. Like if society collapsed and it all started again,
Yeah.
people might not know.
You
But
bitch.
that's the thing. Maybe they could have an alarm system set up, so if they go near these areas, it will just blare out this album, and people will keep away from it. Yeah. You bitch. And then it could be like such an awful, unlistenable sound that people can't bear to be near it. Because it's just, it immediately says something's wrong here, there's danger.
Something's wrong here.
Keep away.
That should be that album's name.
Yeah.
Something's wrong here. Black Lace, 1987.
Yeah. Or just, we're sorry.
One of my biggest fears is
Grooming.
that maybe because like NASA do a thing where like they obviously exploring space, but they want to limit what they put out there because legitimately, in the event that there's other life out there that could be potentially hostile,
Yeah.
they don't want to do anything which could attract it to Earth. My biggest fear is that like someone like Elon Musk, who's already a real life James Bond villain, may go fucking insane. He'll build a space probe, and in that space probe will be
Both guys
two
of Black
things.
Lace.
It will be a copy of the Blue album and coordinates to Earth.
Oh dear.
And he just laughs maniacally as he pushes a big red button and sends like 100 rockets into space in all directions. And then,
But maybe that would keep people away.
maybe not in our lifetime, maybe not in our grandchildren's lifetime, but basically, like you'll kind of look out the window and Independence Day is happening.
Yeah, but maybe that's
Or they'll
why
just-
he's
they'll
using
keep people away.
Black Lace. Yeah.
Even worse,
If
like
you come here, we will make you listen to
there
this.
could be like a planet of what's Spock's race in
Oh, cheeky
Vulcans.
chappies.
Like a bunch of Vulcans out there
Right.
who are ready to like share the gift of like
Warp
travel, all these cures for these diseases, all these philosophies, this technology, and then all of a sudden they see this probe go by and they pick up the probe and go, what is this?
Show us
because they're so far advanced in technology,
sounds like he says show us
they
your
don't have a
boobs.
CD player, so they don't know what the fuck to do with it. But they open up the lyric booklet and they say do the condom, and then they turn the ship around and say, do you know what? They probably didn't want the cure to cancer anyway.
Or they assume that we've ascended to a higher level of existence and we don't need their primitive technology.
Like
in comparison.
actually, in the same way, like yeah, you're sending off like it's like a landfill, right? You actually like get this shit off of Earth. Like, we don't need it on here.
400 copies of the Blue album.
Yeah, we've managed to like recycle all of that like bad air, all of that waste and everything, and it's now been turned into like clean air, homes,
clean
like,
records,
food,
and all the
for,
waste
like,
has been
needy
put onto that
countries.
disc. It's been compacted.
This is all
that's
we've
what it
got left,
sounds like.
This is the only byproduct. And
That's where it's all come from.
Yeah, and we sent it into space.
The whole of the ozone layer is shrinking because they're compacting it into these CDs.
This is the weirdest creation I've ever found.
I don't know many bands that would go out of their way to put out a shit album.
I do feel like it's...
Well, actually, no, try to, because they didn't. Because they got... Did it even really get banned? Did it actually
I don't think they were trying to make a shit album. I think they thought they were being cheeky chappies. I feel like, you know,
They say
in
they
Evil
only
Dead when they read the Necronomicon, I feel we're about to awaken something through listening to this album. We can't spend much more time on this album. We've gone way too long.
We've done.
Yeah.
So,
Check it out. It's on Spotify. It's all on Spotify.
what? How do we even fucking wrap this up?
Good question.
We're going to try and go
bitch.
see them if they play. They played Bristol
Alright.
last year, but we didn't realise.
Which I still find fascinating. They're touring.
It was like a festival in Ashton Court.
Yeah, of course it was. Oh, was it the 80s one they do?
I don't know, but they're playing Exeter in a few months.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. They had that big 80s festival.
They always
like
do that.
UB40 and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no way they're playing with... Jesus Christ. And also,
How upset would you be UB40 having to share a bill with...
I've got a degree in music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you haven't got any answers for this.
I will not have the success that these fucking pieces of shit.
That's because you've just not found your audience yet.
I know.
Yeah, that's what
I
you
know.
gotta
You
do.
need to take more mind-expanding drugs.
You need to find the gap in the market and then get releasing some sort of novelty.
But we've only just scratched the surface. I would recommend listening to some of this. Your mouth will be agape. Make sure you put on Spotify as a setting for a private session. Make sure you do that because it could end up accidentally making you a daily mix of, oh my god, I'm interrupting myself mid-sentence. We don't have to do this now. How have we not done a radio off of one of these songs on Spotify? And on that bombshell...
yeah, this is a bit of a... I'd say this is a bit of a tangent.
Also,
This is like, do not get me wrong. This episode is an outlier.
we're recording this as posterity in case we all vanish mysteriously.
Yeah, we have lots of plans, and this is just something which I think...
We just needed.
This doesn't have to be our second episode. We can release this at any time.
That's true.
We can hold
I
it as
mean,
a threat.
it
If we
would-
don't get a certain amount of listeners, we'll unleash this onto the world.
Every week.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
week. Till we get more listeners somehow.
They've covered Tub Thumping.
Yeah, I told you that.
They've covered it.
Piss in the night. And I think we'll leave you on this song as we end the podcast. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening.
Life forever.
I'm not sure if I want to put my name to this.
Bye.
My
Bye.
name is Dan.
Ciao. Nice knowing you.
It's goodbye from Jim
My
and
name's-
Lewis as well.
My name was Jim. I think I'm going to have to legally change my name after this as well.
You bitch.
I hate you, Lewis.
Right, we've got it out of our system.
Oh,
We're good.
get on with my life now. I like that one a lot.
It's going to take so much editing to make that.
Yeah.
That was.